This is my first time in Kubota's KX60. This is the replacement for the 57-4, and this is what I would call a full fat 5-tonner. I mean, it's actually more up on the 6-ton mark really, but not driven one before. This has got the bigger engine in it, the hydraulics are better, faster. Well, faster is, I'm not saying the U50 that I've driven before is a slow machine by any means. In fact, if anything, it's a little bit too fast for its own good. But this machine is a little bit more controlled with it feels actually. And we've got Engcon's 206, the EC206 on here. No gripper, which I think is probably the right move for this machine. I mean, I'd love to have a gripper, but they do add probably over 100 kilos. I can't remember exactly what the spec is on this, but it does add a little bit of extra weight to a setup. And let's face it, you know, these are only small machines. There is only so much you can put on a machine of this class. But seems to be handling it pretty well. We're in a little bit of softer, it's kind of a sandy material with this. It's got a decent sized grading bucket on it, certainly comparable to what a sort of 6-ton machine would be running anyway. And yeah, she's handling it okay. I have to say, this is initial impressions. You've got to think I've just jumped in this, so it literally just fired it up, and these are my rambling thoughts as we see them. But the unit itself is a really compact little unit, this 206. I really like the size of it. You've only got one ram on this, so some people might say, oh, it's not got the you know, the tilting force of the twin ram bigger 209. But the weight saving with this machine is really huge. The 209 is a much bigger unit, and the reason I thought I'd have a play in this, not just to play with the Kubota, but I am always thinking about the possibility of running a tilt rotator on my backhoe, and I think this would be the size I'd want to go to. I've seen a lot of people do it with the 209. Engcon have told me that they say the 206 will stand up to the forces, you know, the sort of power of the backhoe. The 206 unit will do that, even though it's not rated to really the kind of sort of 7-8 ton machine that it is. It goes up to a 6-ton machine, this. Yeah, I sort of see the point is that, you know, you won't get maybe you won't have the rotation force, maybe you won't have the tilting power of the bigger unit, but weight is key, and build height, especially for me on the backhoe, is key. I really think that is you know, something that I want to avoid, getting something that's too big for it. This little thing here, it's got a top pitch. This is a sandwich design, so it's got top pitch, not direct mounted. You could obviously have it direct mounted, and she's running this absolutely lovely. In fact, very initial impressions are that this is a really nice digger to drive. Now, yes, if you put the bucket out full reach, you know, it's a little bit like, it knows it's there, but it's handling it very well. I wonder what it'll do with a good clob of material. Let's get a decent bucket full there. That's a contracting bucket full, isn't it? Then we'll put it out to the side, and then we'll be an absolute idiot about it. So she will fall over with an absolutely full bucket, but not bad at all. And we're in soft ground, which probably doesn't help either. But it's got that, I talk about this a lot in reviews, it's got this sort of flickability to it, where you can just sort of flick the material out of the bucket, and I really like that. And we're not running it on full revs either. We're in sort of 2/3 revs at the moment, and it's running this tilt rotator really nicely. Whoever set this up has got the speed just right. Sometimes they can have too fast on the tilt and the rotation, but this is, you're not waiting for it, but it's got that, yeah, it's got that kind of speed to it, which it's controllable. You know, you can work with that. A really nice machine, actually. I could get, well, I'm instantly at home in it. Of course, the Kubota cab is well laid out, as I've reviewed in the U50 video. You know, she's a good girl. They really think about the seating position. It's very easy to get comfortable in it, and you know, there's a lot to like. My hates with that, dislikes with that machine are about its hydraulics and the way it controls them. This is, as a machine, as a standard machine, is driving much nicer than that U50 did, and of course I would expect that, it being the higher performance machine. Only thing I would say, got a slight knock from the auxiliary. When you operate the tilt rotator, there is almost like a valve kind of letting go, and she just has this little every time you sort of, I don't know if you can hear it on the camera, listen, that noise. It's not much, probably the window shut, it wouldn't be a problem, but it's just something that, you know, you move these things around, and okay, we're having a play here at Engcon's dig day, so it's not, you wouldn't do this tilting and rotating quite so much normally. We're probably having a bit of a play with it, really, but yeah, this is the size machine that my favourite YouTuber Hedblom drives over in Sweden. They do a lot of kind of landscaping work, a bit similar to me, I guess. Maybe less posh, less upmarket, but I can really see why they run that size setup. This is a really nice digger to play with a great size unit on it, and yeah, she's driving lovely. I actually, if I do Chelsea Flower Show every year, as some of you know, and we were potentially looking at hiring a machine like this for that show. It would be an absolute weapon. This is Weaver Plant Hire's machine, and fair play to them for investing really in tilt rotators. There's, you know, a lot of money on the end of this machine, and it doesn't take very long for people to damage it. I mean, this is a lovely, neat install. It's got EC oil, so there's no hoses having to go down to the tilt rotator unit. You've just got the two that feed the hitch, and then that feeds the actual tilt rotator unit itself. But you know, that does help on a clean install, and of course the less hoses you've got kicking around, the better. But yeah, this is a nice machine. I'd get very used to this very quickly, and it's a bit like having the 8026, just with that little bit more power, that little bit more reach. I mean, I jokingly say that I use that machine like a 5-ton digger, and I sort of do. Maybe I don't quite so much anymore. Now I've got the bigger backhoe as well to do some of the bigger work, but she's certainly done jobs where you would otherwise have a 5-ton machine in for the work, and I've pushed on and done it with the 8026. And yeah, she's this is a nice little machine. This great to have sunshine out as well. It's the Engcon dig day up in London. We've come down to come with my mate Kieran, who's another Engcon user, with his JS145, I think it is. He's probably going to kill me now, because no doubt he'll watch this video. But yeah, it's so we've both come down. He's having a play in the Volvo over here, and is obviously the star of RPA Media's camera work. So he's having a play in the Volvo. I'm having a play in the Minis, and yeah, it's a great little setup. Looks like we've got S-Type X. Pat is here with his product, showing off his selection of light bars and accessories and expensive bits to put on the roof. Yeah, Owen May's got a couple of his machines here. There's a nice selection. 9-ton TB290 Takeuchi. He's got his 14 or probably 15-ton machine as well. So yeah, there's a bit to play with, and it should be a fun morning. Probably, no doubt, turn into most of the afternoon as well, having a play on some of this kit, which is a great opportunity to try out a tilt rotator at a venue. So I'd recommend it if you are interested in these bits of kit. Then I can't say enough that this is the way to do it, is to either try people's machines that you've seen, the machine that you might be thinking of. You know, even if you've got to drive halfway across the country, I really would recommend getting some stick time or speaking to them and seeing how they find it, you know, and really doing your research that way. And these dig days are a really good way of being able to get your hands on some different machines, different size tilt rotators, and really understand what that weight feels like on the end of the dipper. You know, that's the key with all of this. Anyway, we'll see if we can't have a play in another machine. Oh, Kieran's not sure on the Volvo.